All right, I'm going to call to order this work session for the Monroe County Board of Commissioners. It is Thursday, November 13th. I'll note for the record all three commissioners are here and present in that U Hill room. And first item is EAG agreement with the election board. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kylie Ferris, Monroe County Election Supervisor. So the Blue DAG is a compliance survey contract for polling locations. This is a partnership with the city to ensure compliance at all polling locations in Monroe County for voter access. This contract was approved by the Monroe County Election Board with a unanimous vote on November 6, 2025, to be presented to the commissioners. And then I am here if there are any other questions. And then Greg, I assume, was here as well.
Thank you so much. Well, first we'll start with questions from my colleagues. Anybody have questions?
No.
Okay, well, that was easy. Mr. Crone?
Good morning, Commissioners. I've just begun the process of vetting the software from Blue DAG. I wasn't involved in the process previously. I did have an opportunity to review their user agreements, and I had some concerns and some questions. I would like to reach out to the company first before I put my seal of okay on this. That meeting is scheduled for tomorrow at noon, so I'm not looking to delay process, but I'm looking to make sure we have our questions answered and make sure we're secure with this new software before we move forward.
Okay. I'm sorry, what meeting is at noon tomorrow?
I have a meeting with Blue DAG.
Oh, with them.
I wasn't part of the process, and I need to vet this. So I've reached out to the vendor. They understand that I have questions, and so we're meeting at noon tomorrow to address those.
Great. Okay. Yeah, so we look forward to hearing about this and your take on it. And obviously it's not something we're going to hear until December, so there's not a urgency here, but clearly it's one of the key questions relates to, for me, is who uses this software and how is it used? What is it? Can you explain it a little bit more? Because I haven't watched that meeting yet.
Yeah, so Michael Shermis from the city did come over to do a really great demonstration and some information about it. I'm sure he'd be open to doing a demonstration for commissioners as well.
Well, I'll just go back and watch that meeting because I have not done that yet. So that's on me.
But the software itself would be used by our office. So myself would be one of the administrators for the software, as well as an individual in the city office. I can't think of her name right now. I believe it's Jessica. But she would be working hand in hand with me on setting up the software, figuring out the way that we want it to process, what key features we want to make sure are included in the surveys. And then it would be our staff individually. We would go out to the polling locations to do the survey on an iPad or a cell phone and get all the information that way.
Okay. So it's like the old ADA compliance tour, but instead of paper, pencil, forms on a clipboard, it's online, and you can kind of cultivate the correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the software will also give the exact things that are incorrect, that don't meet the ADA compliance, and show all the violations. It'll also give you remedies on how to improve those. So we can give them to each of the polling locations to use to make the changes, but we're going to be using them primarily for the temporary fixes to ensure that election day is ADA compliant as much as possible.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Other questions from my colleagues or?
No.
Okay, great. Thank you. We look forward to hearing about it, and it'll still give you plenty of time if we consider it in December, yeah?
Yeah, I will say that Clerk Brown did want to try to get it as soon as possible. So the December 4th meeting will be great because we want to try to get it in this year's budget. That way
Sure.
we have
Yeah,
plenty of funds for it.
got it.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Thanks for waiting today. All right, next item relates to, oh, there's Mr. Roddy. Good morning. This is about an appraisal for litigation.
Yes, good morning, Justin Roddy from the Monroe County Legal Department. I'm asking the Board of Commissioners today to approve an agreement for services for an appraisal of property that the county is currently involved in litigation over. Litigation concerns allegations of a taking or otherwise invalid zoning determination. The contract is for $5,500. It will have us an appraisal by the end of the year. It is subject to a 90% reimbursement from our insurer. So once we get that, the actual cost of the county should be about $550.
Okay. So covering the money this year to do this appraisal next year? Or you
No.
just want the contract done?
We want the contract approved. I have been in contact with Mr. Fig from
Okay.
Fig Appraisals. I have let him know that this money will come out of next year's budget. He was okay with that, but we need to have the appraisal by the end of the year due to
Got it.
discovery deadlines.
Thank you. Thank you for that explanation. Other questions, Board? Okay, so you said 550?
The contract that we would have to pay up front is for $5,500. We do have in our insurance agreement, it's a 90% reimbursement for litigation costs, including the cost of experts and depositions.
Okay, and that's coming out of legal? That's coming out of County General Legal?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm asking those questions because I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the contract with Fig Appraisal Corporation for case 53C01-2407 PL001809 for a total cost of $5,500 coming out of Fund 1000 County Legal.
Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any public comment on this item? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of approving the Fig Appraisal Corporation agreement signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 3-0. There you go. Okay. Next we have, a ratification. Did we already hear this? Okay, all right. Then it wouldn't be a ratification. This is regarding Smithville Telephone Utility Reimbursement from Moores Creek Stip Road for stormwater. Why don't you explain that?
Okay.
That'd be great, thank you.
So I talked to Dave
confused.
yesterday with the legal department. This cost was anticipated in the Moores Creek Stip Road project. We had a utility reimbursement agreement with Smithville at the time of the creation of the project. I believe it was signed in 2024 by our previous project manager in stormwater. The agreement at that time should have came to the county commissioners. The work has been completed. We have been working with Smithville to get this invoice for a long time. We finally did receive it. We need to pay it. The work was completed. It was in relation to our project. After talking to Dave, he referenced Indiana Code 34-1-4-16 that you could ratify the agreement on behalf of the employee manager that signed it at the time.
Got it. That's why the word ratification is in there. Okay. Light bulb is getting brighter. Thank you so much. Any questions from my colleagues? No. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to ratify the Smithville Telephone Utility Reimbursement for Moores Creek Stip Road. Fund name Stormwater, fund number 1197, the amount of $87,486.78.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Okay. Anything else? Let's see if there's public comment.
To keep this very transparent, we will mention it again at the Stormwater
Stormwater,
Board
yeah.
at the beginning of December. And then we also will take it to the council for an additional. We have funds sitting there, but we know that's tied up for the construction that will be completed in the next 2 weeks for that whole project.
Okay.
So we want to just move forward to get it all completely appropriated and get it off the books.
Got it. Makes sense. Thank you so much. I don't see any public comments, so all those in favor of ratifying the Smithville telephone utility reimbursement for Morris Creek Stip Road signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Good, thank you. I'm going to skip it, Mr. Myers, if you don't mind. I'm going to skip ahead since we have Ms. Ridge here, and we have Mr. Schilling here to go into, this should be quick, Mr. Myers, thank you for your patience. Resolution 2025-49. I don't know who wants to start.
So we were reached out by Bartholomew County yesterday. After we do a paving project, we have bought a piece of equipment for road widening. It's basically putting a shoulder on the edge of the road in places that it's allowed and can fit. The equipment in Bartholomew County quit yesterday, so they reached out about borrowing our equipment. So we reached out to Dave about taking the proper steps on loaning out that equipment through the commissioner's process and the proper agreement.
Right. Excellent. Did you have anything to add, Mr. Schilling?
Yeah, to make this effective, the Board of Commissioners of Bartholomew County will have to adopt a substantially similar resolution. And so this becomes effective, by the terms of this, it becomes effective once the Bartholomew County Commissioners adopt it.
Right, and it's a 7-day borrow.
Correct.
And no money changes hands, and they're responsible for any damages to the equipment, basically. And we're not responsible for any insurance trouble they get into using our equipment because it's not, okay, got it. All right, questions from my colleagues? Nope. Okay, well, that's pretty easy. Any public comment on resolution 2025-49? See, we promised y'all there's more inter-county cooperation going on. Our agenda. I don't see any public comment. All those in favor of approving resolution 2025-49 signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you. All right, now, Mr. Myers, you're the patience of a saint. Thank you for waiting. We have ordinance 2025-41 rezone. Tell us all about it, please.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to bring it up here on the screen. And I'll have a formal presentation slideshow ready for the formal session. So this is the 8383 SBR LLC rezone, ordinance 2025-41, also known as REZ-25-5. It's at 8304 and 8383 North Steinsville Road, as well as 8436 West Hedrick Road. It's multiple parcels, and the entire acreage is 221.98 acres. Currently, the property is zoned mineral extraction, and with some areas of that whole acreage being zoned agricultural residential. Through conversations with the applicant and the petitioner, basically staff identified those specific areas that are zoned agricultural residential where the petitioner is seeking to rezone to mineral extraction. However, just to be safe, the applicant was firm on applying the rezone to the entire property, the 221.98 acres. So therefore, the rezone is technically mineral extraction / agricultural residential 2.5, all solely to mineral extraction itself. We're in Bean Blossom Township, it's section 20. Portion of the property is in the Indiana Quarries and Carvers Type E subdivision. That tract in that subdivision will soon be vacated as a follow-up to this rezone application. and be replatted as one large lot. And that will be called the Big Creek Limestone Administrative Type E subdivision. So there's multiple parcels at play here, all owned by the same property owner. And they are wanting to go through this process first to make sure all the zoning is great. And then they'll go through the plat vacation and Type E subdivision process to combine all of those parcels into one large lot of record. All right. So I'm going to go into a little bit of a summary and background here. Let's see. The property is exhibiting current quarry activity at 8304 and 8383 North Steinsville Road, which includes approximately 189.79 acres. The remaining 32.19 acres at 8436 West Hedrick Road also contains a portion of land utilized for quarrying purposes. This 32.19 acre property was established as Tract 1 of the Indiana Quarries and Carvers Type E subdivision. That's Exhibit 6 in your packet. In conjunction with this rezone, the petitioner submitted a new administrative subdivision application to vacate that tract and eventually consolidate all the remaining parcels into one large lot of record, as I stated before. Before the Indiana Quarries and Carvers Type E administrative subdivision happened, which was recorded in September 2020, the property at 8436 West Hedrick Road consisted of 22.8 acres. And this actually received a rezone from agricultural residential to mineral extraction via Ordinance 2011-27. And this ordinance included some conditions of approval that are on the screen now. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And you will see that some of these recommendations or conditions of approval, I should say, were carried over into this rezone's conditions of approval in order to make sure none of those get lost in the transition. So I can come back to those. On the screen now is a zoning map. So you can see the areas highlighted with the white circles and ovals, the difference of the zoning. Sorry, the light just turned off in this room. We're just going to keep going. And the agricultural zone is here on the left side of the screen as well. Ordinance 2011-27 here shown in the mineral extraction. That was rezoned, like I said, in 2011. So only these portions that are circled are technically zoned agricultural residential, and the rest of it is mineral extraction. But again, they are requesting a rezone of all of it just to make sure no other areas that are missed and get those rezoned appropriately. So on the screen now, I have definitions for the agricultural residential zone as well as the mineral extraction zone. And then Chapter 811-11F also provides conditions that are applying to the mineral extraction use. Planning staff does not have a commercial site plan on file for this petition site. And these standards that are on the screen were included as part of the CDO passage on December 18th, 2024. Okay, so urban area analysis as one of those conditions or standards, I should say, that were mentioned on the previous page. This hatching was provided by planning staff after analysis utilizing the urban area analysis, which dictates an area within a quarter square mile of 8 residences, and those areas are prohibited from occurring with mineral extraction. So the petitioner is aware of this area that is prohibited from any mineral extraction activities based on that urban area analysis. And then here's another page showing some of that analysis done by planning staff. All right, on the screen now, this is a location map. Like I said, we're in Bean Blossom Township. The property has frontage on North Steinsville Road. That's where they receive their primary access point. It does have frontage technically on West Hedrick Road through this soda straw or flagpole extension here. One of the conditions of approval from the original rezone in 2011 was that only agricultural and residential use is allowed to operate within that or utilize that access point. And that is being carried over into this rezone application as well. And the petitioners are aware of that and are consenting to that as well, that there is to be no mineral extraction access or mineral extraction activity through that portion that fronts West Hedrick Road. Again, here's the zoning map. You'll see that this map is not showing that ordinance 2011 detail, but I did include that in that previous map because that was approved, but just was missed in the current zoning map itself. Let's keep scrolling here. Site conditions and infrastructure. One of the conditions of approval for the 2011 ordinance as well was that rock crushing is prohibited on the subject site, and that was specific to the 22.7 acre property before the quarry and Indiana Quarries and Carvers Type B came through. So the recommendation, one of the conditions of approval for this rezone is that that rock crushing requirement or condition of approval also be included as a prohibited nature in this 32.19 acre parcel, this whole parcel down here. And the petitioner has been able to agree to that as well. Highway Department comments as well as stormwater comments on the screen, stating basically that they have no really comments at this time. And I think that is most of the information that I wanted to cover during the work session. Does anyone have any questions? I will go back up to the top where we have the conditions of approval listed, as well as other details.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's see if my colleagues have any questions.
Not at this time.
Okay.
No, thank you for the enlightening presentation. Sorry that your overhead lights went dim during that enlightening presentation. I kind of expected Predator to come out of the background there with the red glow.
It kind of looks like the Northern Lights the other night. Really, I thought it was
so
yeah. They were that color red too.
They were, yes.
So one of the things that we had talked about in the Plan Commission meeting was having some sort of map or something created or a site plan for the property where they would indicate where they could or could not do rock crushing, for example, and also where the karst features are. Do you feel like that's sufficiently covered here?
Yeah, I will go back and look at that request. I believe it was stated by the petitioner that they do not have a mobile rock crushing equipment, and that rock crushing is located elsewhere on the property, and that it's not close to the prohibited site that is being requested here in the condition of approval.
Right, but I had asked for maybe a site plan that just generally identified so that if in the future somebody goes by that property or they get a complaint, you could say, look, here's the map, here's what they agreed to. And he was amenable to that at our meeting. So if you could check on that, I would appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, I can do.
Thank you. When would you like us to hear this? Our next meeting is December 4th, or we could do the 11th. Do you have a preference?
I do not have a preference. I'm not sure if the petitioner would have a preference. I would expect that they would say sooner rather than later.
Okay. Well, I will let you contact them, figure out the best date to get on our agenda, and then please do so. Okay?
Will do.
And if my colleagues have questions in the meantime, or if anything comes up, we can connect via email and ask questions or however it may be. Yep. Excellent. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else for our work session? Oh, Mr. Cockrell.
Yes, we have notice bid openings for next Thursday.
Thank you.
The 20th. And you guys aren't meeting, so I was wondering, when we get the bids, if you guys would designate me as the person to open those bids. And we'll still do it in this room, still do it at 10 a.m. It's just holding those bids for a couple weeks doesn't seem fair to people who are giving those bids. A lot of times like to know what
Yeah.
their competition is and what they've said.
And the bid opening is for which department, sir?
The assessors, it's for
Right.
their reassessment
Okay.
program.
So, yes, any concerns or issues with that? Are we good with? Okay, so there's a consensus here that at 10 a.m. on November 20th, which is Thursday, since the commissioners are not meeting, that the bid packet opening shall proceed. And we do ask Mr. Cockrell to be here and present in the Nat Yoho room to effectuate that bid opening.
And I'll open them, read them aloud, and then we'll take, and then I will
We'll
work
take,
on
we'll
getting you
take
the
whatever it is
information
under
you need
advisement.
for a decision at the next meeting, or maybe even potentially the one after with the holiday.
Okay.
And for clarification for TSD, they will need to be here for that
To
opening.
record.
Yep.
Yes. That would be great. Thank you, TSD. But at least it'll be a short meeting. Thank you. Got a thumbs up from up there. Thanks. All right. Anything else for the good of the order? See, I forgot that. So anything else I forgot in the last 10 minutes? Okay. All right. With that, we are adjourned. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Stay safe, be happy, be thankful.
Grateful for you all.